Guest services is a vital part of your weekend service. Previously, we talked about the 4 elements to your weekend service: worship, word, kids ministry, and guest services. I want you to think about this. When we talk about guest services, number 1, everyone's a guest. We're not just talking about first time or returning. Everyone who comes in is a guest. We want to make them feel welcome. There's a difference in being friendly and welcoming. I've been to churches and they were very friendly. Like when I walked through the foyer and they were in my way as a first-time guest, they would smile and move out of the way for me to walk through. But I didn't feel welcome. I didn't feel like they wanted me there. Your guest services team, by the way, guest services needs to be a culture, not just a task, but your guest services team needs to make sure that your guests feel welcomed. Here's what I want you to think about with your guest services team. Think about the parable of the prodigal son, and your guest services is the father in that parable. What did he do? He saw that the son was coming down the road, and he went out to meet him and to welcome him and to make him feel special no matter what he's gone through. Every single Sunday, you have prodigals that are coming down the road to church, whether they've been there 10 years or 10 minutes. They need to feel welcomed. That will connect them so that they will experience the Spirit of God through worship and encounter God through the Word. So guest services needs to be welcoming. What do you look for with guest services? I really think there's 4 areas. Number 1, greeters. Remember, the father in the prodigal son parable, he went out to greet the son. So I think a lot of times of parking lot greeters. Why do you need parking lot greeters? Well, number 1, it helps to optimize your parking. Make sure that people are parking correctly so you can use your parking lot optimally. But also, more importantly, I think, people will determine within the first 7 minutes of being on the property whether they want to come back or not. It's the curb appeal, what the facility looks like. By the way the facility looks, they will say that's the way you're going to treat them. So make sure the facility is clean, make sure it has great curb appeal, and how they're welcomed as they come in on the parking lot will make a huge difference. Have somebody there that's welcoming them there. Make sure they know that they're welcome to be there and they can identify first-time guests. I've seen churches use turn on your flashers if you're a first-time guest, or flash your headlights, or however you want to identify first-time guests and direct them to parking that's just specifically for them. Otherwise, you have someone out there that's engaging with them. That's the thing you want to make sure that your greeters are not just acknowledging people, but engaging with people. Acknowledgement is smiling and nodding. Hey, you're here, congratulations. That doesn't make me feel welcome. But if you want somebody to feel welcomed, what you're going to do is you're going to engage with them. I think about the 3 H's: handshakes, high fives, hugs. Either one of those is very welcoming and very engaging. Now make sure you read the body language of people who are coming in. Not everybody wants to be hugged. Not everybody wants to shake your hand. Not everybody wants to do a high five. But you can engage with them with a smile and a good morning and a connection that makes them feel welcome. The other thing you want to think about is hospitality. It's amazing, when I'm standing with a cup of coffee between me, I feel much more comfortable talking to you. Why? Because it's a connector. Some people think it's a barrier, but it's really a connector. A donut hole, some kind of refreshment, coffee. It makes me think, you know what? You wanted me to be here and you made refreshments so that I would feel welcome to be here. Simple thing, but it really does make a difference. And the other thing that I'll mention is security. We want your church to be a safe place to encounter God. Make sure that your security is present, but not prominent. I don't recommend putting t-shirts on that say security team, because that can become a little off-putting. And practically speaking, they can become targets for somebody who doesn't have good intentions when they come into your church. So make sure that they are present so people feel secure and that they are keeping their head on a swivel, making sure everything's okay, but not so prominent that they distract away from the worship experience. Make sure that your guest services is effectively accomplishing what you want it to accomplish, which is making people feel warm and welcome into your weekend service. If you haven't seen the other videos, we talk about the 8 systems of the church. We talked about worship and for that to be anointing and engaging. We talked about the message that needs to be relevant and revelational. If you didn't get to see those videos, go back and watch them. Follow us on social media, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Be sure to comment on these videos, share them with others. Let us know what you think. Next time, we're going to talk about, I think, one of the fun things about your weekend service, a dynamic kids ministry. See you next time.